This is Shyam Global Radio in partnership with Timber Media, Podcasters for India Inc.
HR burnout, what it is and how you can deal with it. The stress of the pandemic took a toll on employee health around the world, and that stress hit HR departments and personnel perhaps twice as hard. From coordinating large-scale digitalization and ensuring the well-being of colleagues to being the bearers of bad news for employees who were laid off, HR staff have had to manage several workplace transformations. We've all used and heard the term unprecedented to the point of annoyance now, but it really is the truth of the last 2-3 years that HR personnel have had to demonstrate unusual resilience during an unprecedented time. Those wins may have come at some cost, though. The travails of the recent past have cumulatively led to burnout among HR folks. According to a survey of over 500 HR professionals across the US and the UK, 98% of them are burned out. And it's not too difficult to gauge why it is that we're in such a precarious situation. A Forbes article from April 2022 pointed out that, and I quote, many business leaders panicked in 2020, end quote. Government-mandated restrictions ordered many businesses to shut down, people were told to shelter at home, and an alarming stock market plummet in March 2022 put fear into company executives. Millions were fired or furloughed. The unpleasant responsibility for dispensing the bad news was given to the HR department. It took all their strength to juggle keeping people safe, delivering the necessary technology to connect everyone together under adverse conditions, and providing psychological safety and mental health support. In light of the pandemic, HR has had to continually ensure employee well-being is intact and look for signs of burnout. That's a lot of responsibility. HR staff have had to serve as cheerleaders and even therapists on occasion to boost morale in their organizations, in addition to the normal tasks like recruiting, hiring, onboarding, and retaining employees. Was that a part of their job as the pandemic unfolded? Sure. Did it all take a toll? Well, one would be lying if they said no. One could also shrug off the consequences, saying it is what it is, but burnout among HR staff is a tangible consequence. Around 18 months into the pandemic, we started hearing about employee burnout, struggles with remote and hybrid work transitions, and issues with morale. We took the help of funny videos like bloopers on Zoom calls that went viral to help us tide over that phase. But it was becoming apparent that the stress of that unusual work situation was beginning to tell. HR departments had to intervene and fix things. Some experts claim the subsequent 6-month period, 18 to 24 months into the pandemic, is when HR staff started experiencing burnout themselves. They felt they were undersourced and faced extraordinary pressure. New or overhauled workplace cultures, new and some untested guidelines, new politics, tensions between colleagues, etc. created more challenges. Not to forget, they had their own emotional fatigue to deal with. It all got a bit too much for some HR employees who felt underappreciated or undervalued at work during that time. Only 30% of HR staff surveyed felt valued at work. One of the HR's jobs is managing perceptions, but perceptions were anything but rosy within HR circles themselves. As one expert attempted to shed light on the conundrum, and I quote, "They are tasked with taking care of employees and ensuring that everybody else feels appreciated, recognized, and healthy in the workplace. These professionals should also feel this in order to create a healthier workplace and solve internal issues. How can they do this when they don't feel the same?" End quote. That explains why employee well-being is one of the key trends in HR for 2023. We've taken off the face masks and are getting back to work, admittedly in a gingerly fashion, but the stress hasn't quite gone away. A US Surgeon General report on well-being and mental health from October 2022 observed that up to 81% of workers claimed they would be looking for workplaces that support mental health in the future. So, how can HR folks avoid or overcome burnout before they can help other employees? Well, let's first look at the signs of burnout that will help you recognize if you or your colleagues in HR are hurting. Mood swings, irritability, working weekends, working more overtime hours, a discernible decline in the quality of your output, mental fatigue, etc. could indicate that you are at the end of your tether and may need to step back and care for your mental health. Here are a few ways you can overcome burnout and restore a healthy balance in your life. Number 1 is address the stress. You can't work around this one. You're a normal human being who was overwhelmed by these difficult years, and you have to learn stress management. Adding stress education with the help of mental health professionals to your workplace programs can go a long way towards overcoming the various kinds of stresses that are taking a toll on the HR department. Second, regular check-ins are essential. Open communication is key to overcoming HR burnout. Check in with your colleagues or subordinates in HR regularly and provide feedback. They must be encouraged to speak openly in case they're feeling any distress. Ensure you discuss workloads, deadlines, expectations, etc. Clarity of purpose and expectations reduces stress, especially in human resources related work. Number 3, breaks are good. Encourage your HR staff to take breaks during the day as they go about executing their tasks. This is not a mere feel-good affirmation. According to the CDC, taking even a 5-minute break can have several mental and physical health benefits. Remember, we spoke of tangible consequences? Taking breaks to pause and give your mind a moment to refresh leads to measurable benefits. For instance, many people find that a short walk in the afternoon can help shake off the stress and refocus on what's important. Letting HR staff know they should, not just can, take a break when necessary will help them feel less stressed at work. Number 4, cross-train your HR staff. This means equipping your HR people to handle more than just one responsibility. This way, they can assist a colleague who might need some help with any task or who needs a day off from work to start another project, etc. Sometimes employees can feel guilty taking time off if they are, the only ones working on a project. So, equipping more employees for such scenarios leads to less stress all around. Cross-training HR staff ensures no one works in silos and that colleagues are always able to help each other. Obviously, you also want to emphasize the culture of open communication we spoke about earlier, which is closely tied to cross-training and a helpful work culture. Lastly, flexible schedules are a thing now. An HR employee who's experiencing burnout can be thrown off kilter by even a long, time-wasting commute. Maybe they're more productive on certain days when they work from home. A flexible schedule allows you and your HR colleagues to manage workplace stressors more efficiently, maybe even eliminating a few of those pain points in some scenarios. Such flexibility allows HR professionals to feel that they have more control over their schedule and work environment, which has a positive impact on morale. Managing HR burnout is critical for all businesses. Company leaders need to realize the connection between the pressures of a job and the impact on employee health down the line. As work hours and workloads have expanded, HR professionals have become more susceptible to burnout. By recognizing the signs and implementing these simple measures, a company can help prevent burnout and create a healthy, happy, and productive HR team.
This is Shyam Global Radio in partnership with Timber Media, Podcasters for India Inc.